Hey everyone, welcome back. So today's Monday, it's after hours now for stock trading and crypto trading. Bitcoin had a pretty good day today, went nicely up, but then it came back down in price during the day. Miners, however, had a great day, but they are in after hours trading lower, well, because Bitcoin's going down, so they're going down. But there's something else. I was looking at to see how many miners the other miners would have to buy. So Mara is at going to be at 23.3 exahash by the end of next year. I wanted to see how many miners the other companies would have to buy in order to catch up tomorrow and see how much it would cost them. And I found something interesting that I think investors are looking more towards future hash rate than they are of BTC HODL, which a lot of people are thinking that's the case, but I don't think it's the case. And I actually have possibly proof to show it. So let's get into the numbers here. We'll look at Bitcoin really quick, Ethereum, and the miners, and we'll get into to the data. So Bitcoin right now is at 50,293. It has come down to test basically the 20-day moving average, the red line here. The blue line is the 200-day moving average, and it touched it ever so slightly and bounced off of it, which is a good sign. We haven't fallen below it, so that's good. Well, obviously you have to see how it plays out, but right now it's looking pretty good. If we look at the 1-hour chart on Bitcoin, you can see exactly that it touched that 20-day moving average here, and it wicked back up. So that's good. That's a good sign. RSI is obviously way down, leaving us with the hopes that it can continue going back up higher in the coming hours and possibly throughout the next 24 hours. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. It came close to touching, didn't come close. It was at 52,100 or so right there, and we wanted to get to about 52,160, so it was off by about $350 or so from the top of the 50-day moving average. So we'll see if it can actually come back up and touch it here, as the 50-day has kind of come down a little bit in the last, basically within the last hour. Bitcoin switched over at 6 o'clock Central Time for me to the new day. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Ethereum is at 4,031. It has now fallen below the 20-day moving average, and it obviously touched the 50-day moving average here, but it's fallen below it. On the 1-hour chart, same thing on the daily chart. You can see, but we're still above our support here at roughly 3,950 or so. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one, see how this one plays out. Right now, it's just bouncing between those two lines, and we're just in a serious, I think it's just an accumulation phase right now. We'll see how it does, but so far, we're okay. Nothing that's standing out to me that would cause worry right now. So let's take a look at the mining stocks here. So here is Argo. Argo, you can see, had a nice day today. It was up 2.19% to 140 on the day. It touched the 20-day moving average here, the red line, and it stayed basically above it, which is a good sign as well. RSI is not too bad. It's at 47, so we still got room to run, I think. And then on the MACD, we have the cross here of the two lines, which is also a good sign going forward. Bitfarms had a real nice day as well, up 2.76% to 596. It too has crossed above the 20-day moving average here, the red line, you can see right here. CleanSpark was up 2.69% as well. It is still below the 20-day moving average line here, the red line that we see, but it is starting to go up as well. DigiHost had a real nice day. It was up 11.52% on the day. It is now above the 20, the 50. That's playing with the 50-day right now, but it is up above the 200 and the 100-day moving averages, which is good to see as well. DMG is, well, it touched the 20-day moving average, but it has fallen down below it today. It was down 2.96% to 70 cents, and Hive was up 0.65% to 308, and it actually went above the 20-day moving average, and it closed there for the day, which is good. It is now down 1.3% after hours because Bitcoin's down. Hut 8 also touched the 20-day moving average here. It is at 881. It was up 0.69% on the day. And then Iris Energy, don't have much of a chart here for them because they're pretty new here, but they were down 7.69% to 1584. They've obviously come way down from their initial IPO that happened back in November, and people are just, trying to find where is the bottom on them, I believe. Marathon, obviously, is above the 200-day moving average now. It is touching, well, looks like it almost touched the 20-day moving average here today, but it came back down, so it was up 3.3% to 39.40. Mawson infrastructure was actually down 10.14%. So it's continuing that trend. It looks like the bottom might be in right around the $7 mark, I think. Possibly we may come down lower. We've obviously been lower here to 590. So we'll have to see how this plays out going forward. And then Riot was up 0.7% on the day to 25.85, and it is still below all of the moving averages, the 50, 20, 200, and the 100-day moving averages. All right, so let's get into the numbers here. So I was looking to figure out how much like Hive, Hot8, CleanSpark, Bitfarms, all those guys would have to basically shell out to get to where Marathon is with Hashrate going into 2022. Right, Marathon bought a bunch of new miners from Antminer last week, or at least they announced they're going to be buying. And they're going to reach 23.3 exahash, I believe, by the end of next year. That got me thinking, some of these miners are way behind where Mara is. And I just kind of wanted to see how much it was going to cost them to basically either to at least catch up to where they're going to be. And the numbers are astronomical, I think, for most of these guys. But something interesting happened, though. So if we look at the numbers here, I have them right now sorted here by future hash rate. So we can see that Marathon is at, don't want to do that. That Marathon is at 23.3 exahash. Iris is at 15.149, but Iris isn't going to be there until probably 2023 sometime. But that's still future hash rate. Riot is going to be possibly 9. They might increase that a little bit because of their immersion cooling, so they might get it to maybe 10, 10 and a half, maybe 11 at the most, depending on how many miners they get for immersion cooling. And we'll have to get that data from them once they actually get going on those, which is supposed to be in Q1 of next year, of 2022. Then we got Bitfarms. Bitfarms is at 6.9 future hash rate. CleanSpark is at 4.3. Hot8 is at 3.7 roughly. Argo is at 3.6. Mawson is at 3.1. Hive is at 3, but Hive also has the Ethereum, so does Hot8 miners. So I think for Hive, it's another almost 1.3 exahash or something like that of, excuse me, of Bitcoin equivalent power, hashing power. So that would get them up to close to 4. DMG is at 1.5, and DigiHost is at 1.11. So here's the interesting part. Based on these numbers, you can see that Marathon is basically the leader right now. They are, obviously, in my opinion, way overvalued. They're overvalued by basically 42%. They should be, at least, well, by my calculations, they should be down 42% from where they are right now. I have them being at the top end at 22.89. They're obviously at 39.40. Same thing for Iris. Iris, I have them at 8.99. They are at 15.84. So they should be 43% lower from where they are. Same thing. Riot is pretty well valued. I have them at 25.09 and they're at 25.85. So they're pretty in line where I have them on that. But everybody else that you see here, they are all higher. And based on the number of hash rates. So the ones that are the most overvalued are the ones that have the highest future hash rate, at least by my calculations. And then if you look at the HODL, we know that Marathon has a large HODL position, but Iris does not. Iris, from what I understood from their information that they provided, is that they don't HODL Bitcoin. They sell it to fund their CapEx. So they're at 0. So, a lot of investors or a lot of people watching think that HODL is a big player in this. And if it was that case, then you would obviously Hot8 with almost 5,000. They're the second one with the biggest number of Bitcoins being HODLed right now. They would be the number 2 dog in the miners race, right? As far as being overvalued, but they're not. They're right now at basically position number 6 towards the bottom here. If you look at it, so here's Hot8. They got 5,242 Bitcoins being HODLed. So they should be above Riot here if that was the case. And then obviously we have Iris here with 0, and they're, being way overvalued in my opinion. And that's basically because I think investors are giving them, it's not a benefit of the doubt, but they're giving them a higher valuation based on future hash rate and not the HODL position. So that got me thinking, and I've done videos on this before where I think the HODL position isn't all that great, I don't think. One, you're going to be diluting shareholder value because you need to get money to grow your miners and everything else. But number two, I think there's a fine line where you can HODL also and also sell a portion of it. I'm not saying all. I'm saying maybe sell up 25, 30% of your Bitcoins that you do HODL to fund CapEx or whatever you want to do with it to kind of limit the amount of shareholder dilution. If you look at back over here, so that's kind of where I thought it was kind of interesting, where BTC HODL does not mean diddly. When it comes to being favored by investors, it looks like what really matters is future hash rate, and these guys are obviously the top dogs right now, based on the ones that I cover, and everybody else. Even though we can see here by HODL position that, if anything, HOT8 should be way overvalued right now if it was being considered by the HODL position, but it's not. You got Iris with 0 HODL, and they're overvalued right now. So that's kind of what I wanted to point out to you guys. That was kind of interesting here. The other thing is, obviously, I wanted to take a look at how many miners or how much they would have to spend, the other miners, to catch up to Marathon. Let me see here. Where is it? There it is. Okay. So we got the current hash rate here. We got the future hash rate right here. And then here is how much everybody is behind. So Iris is basically 8 exahash behind Marathon. Riot is about 14. Bitfarms is 16 exahash. CleanSpark is almost 19. And then you got HOT8 almost being 20, or 19.5, 19.6. Argo is behind them by 19.6. Mawson is down 20.1. Hive is down 20.3. DMG is down 21.7 and 22.2 roughly for DigiHost, an exahash value behind Mara. If they wanted to catch up to them, they would have to buy basically this amount of miners here that are the 140 terahash per second miners from Antminer to get them to be on par with Mara. That would obviously cost a lot. So you can see the costs here. I'm guessing 12,500 all in for the miners. This includes any tariffs. It also includes shipping. So I think on the website for Antminer, they have it posted at 11,000, something like 230 or some dollars for the Antminer XP, the S19 XP ones. So that's, if you're buying in bulk, you obviously get better pricing. So I'm guessing $10,000 per miner. Take on another 20% import tariff basically on those, and then shipping. So I'm guessing $12,500 per miner all in, basically, roughly. So if you look at the numbers, Iris would have to spend almost 732 million to get up to where Mara is. I think Mara is spending around 800 million roughly to get up to the 23.3 exahash. They're at 15 something now, I think, what they were planned on being. Riot would obviously have to spend quite a bit as well. It would have to spend about 1.27 billion, which is huge. Bitfarms would have to spend almost 1.5. CleanSpark would have to spend almost 1.7 billion. I mean, and most of these guys don't even have that valuation here, except for maybe Riot. Riot's got a 3 billion valuation, but if you look at CleanSpark's only got 500 million valuation on it. So I don't know how they're going to be able to raise that much kind of cash. HOT8 has a pretty good one, but they would still have to spend pretty much all of their valuation on it. Same thing with the rest of the guys. If you look at Hive here, they're at 1.2 billion, but they would have to spend 1.86 billion. So there you go. It's a lot of cash that would have to be spent on it. So let me know if you guys like this kind of information. If you do, thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of it, obviously, and then we'll cover some more stuff. That's all I got for you guys. Thanks you so much for watching. Until next time, bye.